Hey guys, I hope you all are having a wonderful day. So in today's video, it's a story time with me. I'm going to be sharing with you guys 3 side hustles that I did in my teens in Lagos, Nigeria versus 3 side hustles that I did in my 20s in Europe, guys. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Sasha. Welcome to Lindbergz channel. 3 side hustles that I did when I was in Lagos, Nigeria in my teens versus the ones that I did when I was in Europe. Let's start in my teens. So I actually started hustling from when I was so young, guys. So the first hustle that I did when I was in my teens in Nigeria was something that I don't know if they still do now. Most people don't have electricity to pump their water, so you go to other people's houses that have generator and knock on their gates, and hopefully they would open the gates for you to use their public tap to get some water for yourself or for your household. I used to actually go and ask the ones that were like working class people, would they like me to fetch water for them? And everyone then in those days, they tend to have their drums outside, or some of them have it inside. So I used to knock around and ask them, "Uncle, do you want me to help you fetch water?" But I think it was probably maybe 1 naira or 50 kobo. Oh my days, this is the first time I'm actually seeing 50 kobo in a long time, guys. So I think then, like, if it's a whole drum, I used to charge more than 50 kobo. If it's 1 bucket, it's probably 50 kobo or 1 naira. I cannot remember, but I know that that was one side hustle that I did in my teens to have some pocket money. You're living with your parents in Europe and you do the dishes, they pay you for your chores and they give you pocket money that way. When we're growing up in Nigeria, it was completely different. There was no like if you wash the plate, your parents to give you 50 kobo or something like that. It was not like that. Everybody had their chores. You had to sweep, you had to wash, you had to cook. They don't dash you any money for doing what you're entitled to do as a child. There's this program in England called Only Fools and Horses. I used to be like Del Boy. I never knew that was what it was in those days, but when I came to Europe, I realized that my mentality in those days was like Del Boy. I'm obsessed with Only Fools and Horses, guys. I used to say by this time next year I'll be a millionaire. So I always had that mentality growing up. After I did my chores at home, I still would go out and knock on people's door and ask them, "Auntie, uncle, do you guys want me to help you fetch water?" They were not really biologically related to me, but in Nigeria in those days, everybody that is older than you, that was your senior, was your auntie or uncle. And I used to save the money, and on a rainy day I would probably give my mom just to help her out. Every little penny counted. So the second side hustle that I did was farming. So in those days where we grew up, most of the places were not developed. So there was lots of like uncompleted building is what we call it. So buildings that were not completed. So most of them still had like plots of lands or sections of like soil. So my mom used to go and ask the people that owned the places, could she plant stuff in their uncompleted buildings? So like these uncompleted buildings that had like sand, my mom would like plant stuff in it. My mom was very, very industrious, so we had lots of, now you call it allotments, right, in Europe. So my mom will plant like corn, she will plant a vegetable, she will plant, I think, water leaf. We had mango tree, we had pawpaw tree, we had banana tree, we had plantain tree, we had pineapple tree. No, sorry, not pineapple tree. The pineapple is in the ground. We had yam. We had so many things in these plots of land. When it was time to harvest the things like cassava, we would get the cassava. After we all process the cassava, we package them and then we go and sell it to small shops, like the corner shops. Or corn. I used to like go and sell it to these people that roasted corn and stuff like that. Like growing up, it was just so simple. Like you had to work hard to, get that crop out. So the final side hustle that I did in my teens before I left for Europe was selling, guys. I was actually 17 years old or so when I went into university. So How did I sustain myself? How did I survive in school? My mama gave me what she could when we were going back to school. We were 5 of us. She gave birth to, so it was not really easy for her. My mom has a brother that lives in Germany. Like, there was a time he had like containers of makeup products. So he had lipsticks, he had eyeshadows, he had all those girly things. But I think most of the things that he bought, the lipsticks he bought, were colors that probably would match white skin European women. He had bright pink, he had silver, he had all those very hard colors. It was just so bright, like neon kind of colors. If you have those eyeshadows now, they're like so cool. And when I was going to school, I said to them that rather than this thing sit here, I'll take some of the stuff with me. So I took some of the eyeshadow palettes. They were so beautiful, guys. Eyeshadow palettes, lipsticks and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, I'll take them and I'll go sell them in school, guys. So that was what I did. That was my third side hustle. I went to hostels, you know, after school. I shared them with my girlfriends or my classmates or people around. It was actually a hard sale because, like I said, those colors were so difficult to sell. But guys, I can actually sell glasses to a blind person. I was so confident. So I did that side hustle in university. And then when I came back for holiday back to Lagos, there is a market they call Katangua. I don't know if it's still there now, but in the 90s we had Katangua, where you go to buy secondhand stuff. So things that came from Europe, you know, the secondhand clothes and stuff like that, you would go to Katangua to go and buy it. So you have to wake up very, very early in the morning. And there was one of my friends, I don't know if she's online on Facebook. Big shout out to you, Lovette. Her name is Lovette. We went to school together. So myself and Lovette, I said to her that, girl, I've got all this makeup stuff packed in my mom's storage thing. Let's go and see how to like sell them, and you know, and I'll give you a share of the profit and stuff like that. Girl, I woke up early in the morning, would get a pitch there, and then we would sell all, oh Jesus, so fun, guys. We would sell all the makeups and everything. I give her her own share for coming out with me. So let me bring it back to the 20s. So the 3 side hustles that I did when I came to Europe, the first side hustle that I found was car boot sale. I will go to the car boot sale. I will see toys. I will see clothes. I will see electronics. Whether they're working, whether they're not working, I would buy them because they were so cheap, guys. I used to like buy them. I'll put them in a box. There were lots of Nigerian shipping people everywhere that will ship bags for you and stuff like that with clothes if you want to send to people back home. Yeah. And the rest is history. So that was one thing that I did, was car boot sale. Another thing that I did was whenever I was walking past the streets, I used to see people put their kettles or put their TVs that they didn't want. Even if it was broken, guys, in Europe, they would throw it away. In Nigeria, anything that breaks, you take it to the repairer. There's got electronic repairer. They've got tailor. Clothes that are torn, they've got tailors. You see bags of clothes on the streets, and then I knock on the door and I ask them, because me, I don't want to be classed as you're nicking somebody's stuff. I will knock on the door and I'll be like, excuse me, there's this thing is outside. Are you keeping it for someone, or can I have it? They'll say, oh yeah, take it. We left it there for whoever wants it, or the trash people. My dear, I will take it. Like, there's nothing I won't see. Even pots, guys, pots that are still okay. But Europeans will say they don't want it. Me, I will carry my thing. I will call my mom. I'll be like, Mom, I've got stuff coming for you. Please. I will packet everything and then send it to her. And then she'll sell it. That was a side hustle I did in my 20s. Like, for example, you know, the flip-flop? We call it bedroom slippers back home. If I go to the shop in Europe to get these things in those days, it was so expensive. I mean, bedroom slippers that you wear in the summer, you wear to the beach, you wear at home. Because we Africans, we tend to wear slippers indoors, right? And I was like seeing them like for like, maybe in those days, maybe £2, £3 or so. I can't remember. £3 in those days. If you calculate it in Naira, that's a lot. And in my mind, I'm like, In Nigeria, these slippers, them are like 50 naira or something, or 20 naira. I call my mom. Gling, gling, gling. Mama, please, help me go and look for where to buy it. Is it Idimota? Where is it? Balogun? Wherever it is that they sell them in large quantity, go and get me slippers, bedroom slippers. Send it to me. I will sell it. I will go around like, all those African shops, and I'll go there. I'll tell them, excuse me, I've got all these things. Can you please just leave it there? If someone wants to buy, I'll give you guys a percentage of the, whatever you sell. I did that to salons as well. I went to African salons. I did it with my friends, my white friends. I will tell them I've got flip-flops, and I made sure my mom got like very nice, funky ones. Nigeria those days, there were nice things coming from there. I don't know about now because it's been long since I've been there. So that was another side hustle that I did in my 20s. So the final side hustle that I did, and this one was very dear to me, and it's strange because if I'd succeeded in carrying on with that side hustle, things probably would have been very different for me now. So that side hustle was making cotton bags. This 100% cotton beige kind of creamy shopping bags that people use now. In those days, that was 2000. I just thought to myself, why would I be carrying all these plastic bags that, because I didn't have a car or mode of transportation except my leg. So from the train station coming home with this shopping bag, sometimes they will rip. My mom had lots of sewing machine. I said to her, Mom, can you look for people that are able to make me those bags with the, with the handle? And then I said, to jazz it up, can you also use the shiki? We call it Ankara, right? African material. I said I wanted to make it more funky as well. So yeah. So I did that. She sent it to me. My mama was my PA, guys. That woman, God bless her. I know everyone will say their moms are the best, but my mom inspired me to be who I am today, and she's very industrious. There's no venture my mom would not put her hand in to see if it will succeed. So I went back to those African shops as well, but those ones were hard for me to sell, guys, because in those days they were still into their plastic bags. There was not even paper bags in those days. Plastic bags were free. So when I went into the shops to try and sell these cotton bags to them, people would tell me, when there's plastic bags in the shop, free. It's just recently, wasn't it? Or I can't remember when exactly that shop started charging 5p for bags and stuff like that. So that was my one regret, that I wish I carried on. I campaigned for eco-friendly ways to shop, like the shopping bag, because now it's now everywhere, guys. Material bags, cotton bags, eco bags, they are all in the shop. So I wish I didn't give up then, but it was a side hustle that I did in my 20s. So yeah, so that's it, guys. 6 side hustles that I did. 3 in my teens in Lagos, Nigeria, and 3 in my 20s in good old Europe. So the whole moral of the story is, get inspired to have side hustles. There's no age limit to having side hustle, guys. If you're in your teens and you're watching this, just think of something that you can do that is safe, that is legal. Do some side hustle to help your family, to help yourself, because times are so hard. Have you got any stories of your side hustles you would like to share on my platform? Don't forget to leave a comment and I will definitely reply. So I'll see you guys on the next story time with the Lindbergz. Whatever you're doing, don't forget, carry on smiling and remain positive.